Draymond Green and the Warriors. I guess the Warriors owner came out and talked about how Draymond Green, I guess, was never going anywhere, and he's such a big part of what they've done. And I guess they have, no matter what's happened, they just look the other way. I've never seen.
You don't sound sold. You know, with Joe Lacob?
No.
That was never an option. We was never trading Draymond.
It's crazy to me.
He gang with us.
But Rob G, he did have glowing words to talk about.
I mean, you did kind of set it up already. I don't know what I'm doing here, but yes.
Well, you could give me a little more.
I mean, you kind of said it all there, but yes, Joe Lacob did a sit-down interview with Tim Kawakami, longtime Bay Area sports reporter. Now he's with the San Francisco Standard.
I remember when he came to New York, Tim Kawakami at the New York Times.
He's been around forever and a day.
And he worked in Philadelphia before that. I've known Tim for 40 years.
Mm-hmm. And so
he is good, and he's a good reporter.
They covered a lot of different topics, and one of the things they talked about was, of course, the reported failed pursuit of Giannis Antetokounmpo at the trade deadline, right? Like, they were supposedly one of the teams that were in it till the end, and they ultimately didn't get him. They got Porzingis instead. And in the sit down with Kawakami, Joe Lacob mentioned that, you know, despite what you may have heard or what you may have thought, Draymond Green was never included in any of these Giannis talks, partly because they never really got to specific terms of a deal, but also because, according to Joe Lacob, Draymond Green is a core person in the Warriors franchise. And according to Joe Lacob, you don't just trade away a Draymond Green simply or easily. You do it if you have to, if you think you're getting a tremendous value. But long story short, Draymond means too much to this organization for us to just flippantly include him in any kind of trade talk.
Yeah. You want to go first on this?
Well, yeah, I'll just say it doesn't surprise me. Kind of with something you were alluding to. They have made all concessions for Draymond. Draymond has been the guy who's said things, who's walked off of benches, who's punched people, who's had to apologize left and right. But I think they're okay with that. They have made up in their minds that while Steph Curry sells jerseys, he sells popcorn, people come to see him, they know inside and out how vital Draymond is for that organization. And I think when you look at a guy like Steve Kerr, who played with the Bulls, who's from the 90s era, who got socked by Michael Jordan, I think he maybe has a mindset, Rob, of a little sock ain't nothing to it. You know, a little punch here and there. Hey, Michael Jordan punched me, I punched him back, and I earned his respect. And I think they have just made up their minds that he is kind of that lifeline for them. Steph's our best player. He gets our offense to go. He's the sexiest player. People buy tickets for him. But Draymond is what gets us going. Draymond is the guy in the locker room. When something needs to be said, we'll say it. We talk about it all the time. Why wouldn't Steph Curry speak to Draymond, step up? Why wouldn't he challenge him? Why wouldn't he speak to this thing, this situation? That's just not his makeup. And I think they've realized they need that type of guy. Whether Kelvin Washington likes it, Rob Parker likes it, they feel like in their locker room, he's their guy. And I also believe Steve Kerr being coached up under Popovich and specifically Phil Jackson, where Phil Jackson would say, hey, everybody's a little different. I'm going to have to treat Shaq a little different than I treat Kobe. I'm going to have to treat Dennis Rodman different than I treat Pippen or Jordan. Rodman, I'm going to let you go to Vegas for a few weeks. I would never let somebody else do that. But go ahead and have you a few hours, a few days in Vegas because I know what you mean to this team. I know how vital you are. We're going to need you. So I think he comes from that school of thought. But they have locked in with Draymond. We've seen instances where you would think a coach would yell back at him, would suspend him, would fire, well, not fire, but, release him. And they haven't. And I think they've realized they've locked in. And he's the guy that, wrong or right, within our locker rooms, within the confines of this team, he is absolutely our leader. He's our best defender. He's the engine that gets us going. And I think they've just signed their name in blood with Draymond.
I couldn't disagree more. And I think the reason that we'll never look at the Warriors in the fashion that we should have looked at them will be because of Draymond Green and actually the damage that he's done. You could have all the Draymond Greens you want. Without Steph Curry, you're not winning the championships, or Kevin Durant. I don't care what he does, the dirty work and yelling at people in the club locker room. That all sounds good when you got a couple superstars knocking down threes from all over the court. He single-handedly cost the Warriors 3 championships. I don't care what anybody says. Getting suspended for that Game 5, right? That probably, if he plays in that game, that was when they were up 3-1, and the Warriors have on their record the biggest choke in NBA history. No team in NBA history had ever choked down a 3-1 lead. Thank you, Draymond Green. And after they lost, they begged Kevin Durant to show up in the Bay Area to rescue them. And guess what Kevin Durant did? He came and he rescued them. And he won 2 championships. He wasn't on the bus like Draymond Green. He was driving the damn bus and won 2 Finals MVPs and was the best player without question. He took Steph's lunch money and his team when he showed up in the Bay Area. I don't care what you say. Oh, Steph was, acquiescent to KD and all that. No. If you're that guy, I don't care who shows up. I'm always going to be that guy. No matter. I can have complimentary.
KD was the best
plus.
player on the team.
He was the best player. Everybody knows it. And then he calls him the B word on national television and says to the guy, we won without you. We don't need you and all that kind of stuff. And then they go and win another championship without KD. And guess who's the young guy who was supposed to be a part of the second wave with the veterans and the young players that they had drafted, and they were going to have this continued run and maybe be the San Antonio Spurs and have a 20-year window, right? And he sucker punches Jordan Poole. It makes you lose a lot of respect for Steve Kerr and what has transpired. Didn't even have the balls to suspend him. Instead, they allowed Draymond to go out and tell people that he took time away from the team and that he wasn't disciplined by the organization. Who does that? So while I get the importance of having a Draymond Green and the stuff that he brings to the table, don't get it twisted. He is not. He's the complementary player that you need. But without Steph, had he been drafted and gone to any other team, second-round pick out of Michigan State, he would not be going to the Hall of Fame or be in all these. He would not. Because those players allowed him to be able to do that stuff and not be looked at for shots and scoring points and doing that. That's why he didn't take the lucrative deal to go to the Pistons. You remember that whole thing when he could have gone back home? And because he knows he ain't that player. And he would never be that player going to join the Pistons.
No.
He
knows, but I think you're underselling that's what makes a team a team. Like, he knows exactly what he is.
I'm going to
be our best defender, I'm going to be our best passer, and I'm going to be the heart and soul. And I'm with you in that. He drives me crazy. We come in here 2-3 times a year, we got to talk about it because he did something, said something. That absolutely happens. I'll give you an example. You covered those Pistons, the Detroit basketball Pistons. If Rasheed Wallace, Martin, you know this as well, just from knowing the game. If Rasheed Wallace was more locked in, that Pistons team might have won another one. But so many games he get kicked out off the most random, like, it's first quarter. Why are you getting double teed up, yelling at the right? Getting kicked out, not focusing. Somebody says he shoots too many threes under press, so now he doesn't shoot any threes to prove a point. Like, if Rasheed was locked in.
He's a better player than Dre.
No, what I'm saying is, those are the guys where they drive you crazy, but you know you can't win without them.
No, but Rasheed didn't do the like the KD and the Jordan Poole. Those are bad things to me.
Well, I think KD was. I don't disagree.
That franchise.
The Jordan Poole is crazy. I mean, he just do two-piece to kid.
And if KD was still there, they might have won 2 more champs. I'm dead serious, and would have been an all-time great team. And instead, it got derailed. So let me ask you something. That's all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying about him. Like, right, you're listing kind of what Draymond has done.
Because the 3-1 choke had something to do with him, too.
Well, y'all give way too many – I know you're not a Mr. Steph guy, but people give way too many passes to Steph. If you're the unanimous MVP
I don't give Steph.
And you got 3 games to win 1, Draymond only misses 1, Steph, I'm going to need you to win 1 of those 3. I give you Draymond's out game 5. Steph, you there 5, you're there 6, you're there 7. This is back when I used to scream, Steph Curry gets the biggest passes that I'm just confused on how he got, because Kobe would never be able to be up 3-1 and just be like, and move on.
I've already documented he's the author of the biggest choke in NBA history. But my point is, Draymond's antics, knowing that when he kicked LeBron in the
Kiwis,
right? Like knowing that this is going to cost you. What are you doing? And who was the other big man that they lost to injury?
Who's that, Bogut then? Bogut, yeah.
You know what I mean? Knowing that he's out and then you're going to do that. That's the only thing I'm saying is that it didn't make any sense to me.
So here's my question,
That's
though.
why he can't be the greatest teammate.
Everything you said, again, is factual, right? He did this. He kicked this person. He got suspended. But that's what makes this more interesting and why, to my point, that just screams even louder to me how much he must mean in that locker room, in that organization. That an organization that spends more than anybody, has no problem doing this. They go through the luxury tax. They got the new arena, all this. He's the guy. Clay's gone. Harrison Barnes gone. Livingston, everybody's gone. KD's gone. 2 people remain. You're obvious in Steph, and a guy that obvious people would say, well, why he's got to go? He's bad for the team. Yet the owner, not just the coach, the owner is saying, heck no, that guy can't go. Steve Kerr, heck no, I love Draymond. He can't go. That just shows me how, like, they're screaming. Like, I hear everything you said. I hear what I might say with Martin, with Rob G. That just screams to me how much they love him and how much he means to them.
Because they've had the Kevin Durant's and the Steph to be able to win those other championships. If you could have Draymond on your team, and if you don't win champion, there's no way you look at that. The only way you give him up.
But I don't think they win without Draymond.
No, I disagree.
I absolutely do not believe they win without Draymond. I think there are other players. You don't win without Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. You don't win. You absolutely don't win without Draymond.
You can find a player who could do some of the dirty work that you need him to do. I'm not saying they're going to do it exactly at his level, but shot making is a skill. And I'm telling you, you are not going to win if you don't have shot makers or people who can change the course of the
Do you think those Bulls teams would have been that great without Rodman?
They won 3 without him. They won 3
I'm
without
saying to
him.
be 6-0.
No, but I'm just saying they could have got. I'm not trying to discount Rodman, but they did win 3 championships without Rodman on their team.
It's just ironic that Rodman wins 2 with the Pistons. He wins 3 with he goes everywhere he goes, they're winner. I'm saying that type of guy is the final piece. I'm with you. Steph is Steph, Katie.
No,
you need that final piece.
Steph and Klay Thompson making those splash brothers and the threes. I'm just saying they hide Draymond because they were so good and so skilled.
You say they hide. I say he was the one. He led the team in assists.
Have you ever seen
him? He was the best defensive player.
Trying to make a basket when you need a basket from him.
He forgot how to play basketball on the score. I'm not arguing with. That's why I used the Dennis Rodman argument in that you just need the piece. Chicago knew they're going to need somebody for Orlando. They lost Horace Grant. He went to Orlando. They're balling out. They're great. And they said, we need somebody. And they say, hey, look, this is going to be weird because we hate him because he was a Piston. We got to go get Rodman.
All right.
All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.